Hi, and welcome back to ScottiesTech.Info. I'm Scotty with my co-host Cletus the Tribble. So, about a year ago, I did a video on these two guys. This is the RAVPower Super C Series 26,800 milliamp hour portable charger, USB power bank, and also this guy, which is the RAVPower PD Pioneer 65 watt 2-port wall charger. It gives you a USB Type A and a USB Type C with PD power delivery. So you can use this guy, supplies up to 65 watts, and he will power your devices, your biggest, fanciest devices. And this guy, of course, is just a battery bank. But the special thing about it is that it has a USB Type C input, and you can charge it at a 30 watt rate, which means if you use this guy and a Type C cable to charge this guy, instead of waiting 12 hours for this thing to recharge, it's done in like a little bit more than 4 hours, and it's 26,000 milliamp hours. Anyway, if you want to know more about these two products, you can watch the video here. If you're not watching this video on YouTube, I'll put links down in the description. So the deal is that several people recently watched that video and they said, what the heck, I can't find the RAVPower power bank that you suggested, can't find it anywhere, and they also can't find this thing anywhere. So what the heck happened? Well, it turns out that Amazon, several months ago, took down all RAVPower products from all of their websites in every country around the world. And the reason they did that was because RAVPower was including, in the boxes of their gizmos, they would include a little thing that says, hey, if you give us a 5-star review, send us an email to this address and we'll send you a gift card. Now the gift cards varied between like $5 and $35. Right, that constitutes, it's a violation of Amazon's policies, which as we all know are holy, and so that was very, very bad, and so Amazon took all RAVPower's products down. Right, so this is irritating for a couple reasons. The first reason is, of course, that these products by RAVPower are actually really, really good. Like, this is the best battery bank that I've ever bought. And it also recharges faster than any battery bank that is available today, as far as I can tell. I searched Amazon, I searched AliExpress, I searched Banggood, I searched everywhere, and like, I cannot find one that's actually available. There is actually a Xiaomi, I think it's a 20,000 milliamp hour, and it actually recharges at a 45 watt rate, which is actually 50% higher than this guy. And you can buy one for like $26 on AliExpress. The problem is that it won't arrive for 2 months because it's shipping direct from China. And I don't know about your country, but in my country, shipments are starting to be taxed very highly. Sometimes if something comes from China, it maybe never arrives. All shipments sent via the normal French post office, suddenly everything that arrives has a minimum €9 fee attached to it, which they weren't doing before. So it's like all of a sudden we're being charged through the nose for every shipment that comes from outside the EU, which is seriously annoying. And we're not talking about the VAT, the value-added tax that they're adding. It's just like an extra fee that they tack on. Right. They don't tack an extra fee on an Amazon delivery, because of course that's prioritized because it's Amazon. But if, like, you know, you're in the US and you send me a little envelope with something inside it that costs $10, I pay €9 just to receive the package. Right. So anyway, that was just a little aside, just showing how crazy things are getting. But the problem is that these two products are pretty much the best I've ever used. And it's rather sad, on the one hand, that RAVPower resorted to these tactics because they really didn't need to. I would have been happy to give both these products a 5-star review, and in fact I did, simply because they're awesome. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. I read an article the other day, I think it was on TheVerge.com, and they were talking about how RAVPower's products were taken down and blah, blah, blah. And they said exactly the same thing. It was like, why did they even bother to do this? Because, you know, RAVPower made like some of the best stuff we've ever tested. So just let the products speak for themselves, and, you know, customers would naturally post 4- and 5-star reviews by the dozens because they were just so awesome, right? Which brings us to the second point. The second thing that I find irritating, which is that RAVPower's products were taken down because of this disingenuous practice. Now you can say, well, yeah, that's kind of unfair, right? They were actually paying customers to give them positive reviews, which would boost their products, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that's true, but consider all the other things that happen that even Amazon themselves does, like on a regular basis. For example, it's perfectly acceptable to have an Amazon-sponsored product. So if RAVPower had actually paid Amazon money, Amazon would have promoted their products. But RAVPower chose to give their customers money, and no, that's not allowed because that's unfair. And of course, yes, technically, when you consider the details, yeah, that wasn't a good idea on RAVPower's part. But you see my point here. It's kind of like, you buy a product and it has like a $20 rebate. Well, what do? It's a $100 product. Oh, if you buy this product, take the UPC code off, and blah. This is more in the old days. I'm dating myself, I realize, but you take the UPC code, you fill out a form, you blah, blah, blah. You mail it in, and like 2 months later, you get a check for $20. So your $100 product actually only cost $80. So of course you're thinking, well, why don't they just reduce the price by $20 and just charge you $80 instead of $100? Well, because it's all kinds of, psychological nonsense, and some people will forget to send the mail-in rebate, or they'll send it in and they'll never get the $20, but, oh, they forgot about it, so it's okay. So it's kind of a disingenuous practice in many cases, but it's perfectly acceptable. If we're talking about Amazon not being evil, yeah, not only are there sponsored products, which is perfectly acceptable, but what about Amazon Basics? Right? I mean, you have all these vendors are using Amazon and they're selling their products through Amazon, and but then here comes Amazon saying, well, we're going to get the same thing. We'll basically duplicate that thing that this other, that our customer is selling through our website. We'll duplicate it, build it cheaper over in China or wherever, get them produced in bulk for like half the price, and then sell them for, a 25% discount versus the other guy. And we'll undercut their price and outsell them. That's also perfectly okay. Well, okay, you could say, that's just capitalism, and there you go. But does Amazon really need to do that? Do they need to have their own line of products, or like, why? You could also get into Amazon and their shippers, for example. That's been in the news for actually several years now, where Amazon says, all right, come on, shippers, UPS, FedEx, Post Office, all these different delivery companies, right? They say, you need to deliver our packages before anyone else's. We get priority. Because people, they have Amazon Prime, and you click a button and they expect it to show up in 24 or 48 hours. So, harder, faster. I've actually spoken with a few delivery guys, and they basically told me point blank that it's gotten so bad that they actually carry smartphones around with them, and their company, the shipping company they work for, tracks them, and it's all done. I mean, their smartphone is connected to the network like all the time, so they're literally watched, and they have to actually scan barcodes and get signatures and do all this stuff, and if they don't do it fast enough, they get fired. So it's all become, and a large part of this is due to Amazon, because they said, years ago, before Amazon, people were ordering everything through Amazon, that didn't really exist, that sort of problem. So all this kind of, spying and micromanaging on employees and pushing them harder and harder and harder, there's only a limited number of packages that X number of delivery people can deliver in a certain amount of time. And then to make matters worse, Amazon rather, demanded super low shipping rates from the shipping companies, right? Because that if you take something and you ship it to, across the country or something, you pay through the nose for it. But Amazon can take something that weighs like 50 pounds, wrap it in a cardboard box, and hand it to some shipper, and obviously they're not paying the same amount that you're paying. Because, well, we're Amazon and we're doing bulk and blah, blah, blah. So Amazon is already getting this sort of massive special treatment with shipping companies. And then on top of that, the shipping companies were pissed off, because what ended up happening is Amazon said, no, you're not doing it fast enough. we're going to start our own shipping company. They even like bought airplanes and all kinds of stuff. So it was like, basically after really pushing the shipping companies and kind of screwing them over and taking advantage of them, they went, yeah, okay, no, you're not good enough. We're going to do it ourselves. And then that leads us to the working conditions at Amazon, which have also been in the news a lot lately, where basically if you're an Amazon employee, you're worked very hard and working conditions are not exactly optimal, shall we say. So here you have this company. My point here is you have this company Amazon, which we all know and love Amazon, right? When you want something, what do? You go to Amazon, you click the button because it's convenient, it's fast. But all of that comes at a price. And right, so we love it and we use it, but kind of the only way that Amazon has become successful is to basically do evil things, to push harder and harder, to, you know, screw a bunch of people over, and so on and so forth. And so it's all not very nice when you think about it, when you really dig into the details. And then here's this company, this Chinese company, RAVPower, trying to make products and actually succeeding in making better products, and they do one little thing and oops, no, sorry, we're going to ban you because that's not allowed. So it's a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sure there's also some politics involved there because, as we know, China. But you know, I mean, like I said, these things are fantastic. And anyway, to answer the question finally of where do you buy these things, well, this guy, you don't buy it anymore. I went to RAVPower's website and their stock of battery banks is like 0 on pretty much all of them. So then I took a look at like AliExpress and Banggood and other sites like that, and you can get one that looks very similar to this on AliExpress, but it's lacking the USB Type-C port, so it actually charges very slowly. It's essentially the same model, but it doesn't have the Type-C port, which means it can't power Type-C devices, you know, with high currents and high voltages, and it recharges very slowly with the micro USB input. So apparently they've just stopped manufacturing this guy, which is kind of annoying. If anyone knows of a USB power bank like this that has the USB Type-C PD, the power delivery, the fast charging rate, let me know, because I'm looking for a new one and I'm just not finding any. When I do find them, it either takes 2 months to arrive and ship on the slow boat from China, or they're just out of stock. There are several on Amazon, like no stock, and it doesn't even say will be in stock in 5 days or something. It's like gone, which I imagine is due, at least in part, to component shortages and stuff due to all the nonsense in recent years. So yeah, if anybody knows of a fast charging power bank, as in the recharge time is very low, that is actually available, I'm all ears because I can't find one. And as for this guy, the little wall wart USB charger, this guy is still available. You can get him on, not on Amazon, of course. You can get him on AliExpress. It takes about I think it takes a couple weeks to arrive, and in fact, yeah, this one was a 2-week shipping time. This is for the 65 watt one. RAVPower has since come out with a 100 watt version of this guy that doesn't have, I don't think it has the Type A connector on it. It's basically like a Type C adapter. Instead of a maximum of 65 watts, it will supply up to 100 watts, and it's pretty cheap. And that one I think also will, well, it'll arrive in France anyway in 2 weeks. So if you are looking for a good one of these, if you want to, you know, buy it on AliExpress, maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't. I'm actually tempted to order one and just see what happens, because I love this thing so much that, yeah, I wouldn't mind having the 100 watt one, so maybe I'll do that and report back. So anyway, yeah, it wasn't exactly the smartest idea to oh, that reminds me of one last thing. You know, you talk about like, oh, it's so evil, you know, RAVPower deserved it because they're paying for 5-star reviews, and that's not very fair. No, it's not, but everything else I said, and on top of that, it's very common to have basically paid product pushing trolls, essentially. It can be bots. Very often it's humans. It's kind of like click farms, where as a company you hire some other company and they've got a bunch of humans, and they go and you pay them some money and they create accounts and buy your product and write 5-star reviews, and they appear genuine, but of course they're not. You know, that's okay, and companies do that sort of thing all the time, and this is very similar to like, you know, click farms, and on social media certain posts are boosted magically, and or if you have a YouTube channel and you get troll comments and they say things like cute, you know, 13 minutes and 11 seconds, and you know, of course you're supposed to click on it or reply or something, and then these are, you know, trolls, and yeah, it's all, you know, that kind of thing is pretty rampant these days. And yeah, in a sense, I'm kind of like, well, yeah, if they wanted to, you know, pay for reviews or something, I mean, what they should have done is they should have just said, hey, if you like our product, don't forget to send us a 5-star review, you know, ask for your email address or something and remind you in 2 weeks, or, you know, whatever. Register your product, and then they'll ask you and say, hey, if you like this, give us a good review or something. But instead they chose this path, and now unfortunately, right, you can't get this guy anymore, which is pretty annoying. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you do know, as I say, if you do know of a substitute power bank that has fast charging, let me know in the comments below, and I will get one and test it and report on it. But at this point, I just can't find one. So, right. For more techie tips, see ScottiesTech.Info. Thanks for watching. See you next time.